Hi, this is Sherry at Twisted Granny Tarot. Thank you very much for coming to my table today. This is the tarot table that uses a horoscope diagram instead of like a regular diagram, because the horoscope is divided, is like a circle. It's divided in 12 slices like a pie, and each one of those slices is labeled with a particular topic. So we can get a lot of information about what's going on in Gemini's life today in those 12 categories. Okay, this is also the table where a friend of mine, his name is Link, and he publishes a calendar. And the calendar is called A Year to Date. And I love this calendar because I love obscure facts. So what it has to say to us today is on June 9th, Sigurdsblot. I think blot must mean something like ritual or church. I don't know. Sigurdsblot, in honor of Sigurd, who slayed the dragon Fafnir, Fafnir, to win back the treasure of the Rhine. And in parentheses, it says Norse/Teutonic. So this is old Norse legend. If you don't know yet, I love Norse mythology. I don't even know why, except I have 2% Scandinavian in my ancestry chart. That's the only thing I can use to explain it. Okay, so we have the Pagan Ways Tarot today. They're mostly photographs that have been embellished with some art. So they're pretty interesting, and I like them, but they're pretty big. So they're going to take up a lot of room here. All right, Gemini, first house is your, wait a minute, what you're thinking about right now. First house is what you're thinking about right now. In case you didn't know it, I'm pretty much of an airhead myself. Wow, we got the 5 of Pentacles. Oh, Gemini, you're tangled up in something, because look at the snakes on the bottom here, and down here it says restriction. So if you do not like to have your wings clipped. No sir, no ma'am. No, you must fly free forever. You don't like chains of any kind. Don't try to put a fence on you. No, you have to be free to use your imagination and to think up what's next. So let's see if we can untangle this, all right? So second house is your money. Wow, we have a 4 of Swords. What? Oh, now this says truce. Good thing it has a clue, because 4 of Swords, in this case, it looks like these people are around the table trying to make a deal. That's what it looks like. And at the same time, we see an army in the background. So, and it does give us a big fat clue here, which says truce. So these guys may be trying to make a truce about this conflagration behind them. So something happened that caused a brouhaha, and now you're trying to find ways. Oh, why do I want to use the word stomach? To stomach it, to accommodate it, to accommodate it as much as you can without losing your temper. Okay, third house is communication. Communication just means what you talk about. What are you talking about? Oh, look at here, you're talking about, dag nabbit, they're trying to take my money away from me. Look at him holding on to those pentacles. That's what the pentacles are. They indicate money. So you've been talking about money to people. Oh, so I was going to extrapolate this. I could say, you thought you were getting a bonus. These guys went into a big meeting about it, and you're not happy with the portion that they allotted you. Is that close to anything in your life? Because I could draw logical lines through that. Okay, so that situation that you're dealing with, that is a disappointing, tangled up situation. You don't like it. 4th house is your home. 6 of Pentacles. Now, you know what? It says bounty. So even though you may be disappointed over the money situation over here on these 3 cards, what you got here in your 4th house of home is bounty. That means you still have enough money to get along, and maybe a little bit more. So maybe, because maybe you're expecting $2,000 and you only got 1. Well, you got 1. I used to work for a guy who said, this is what he said, half a hog is better than no hog. Okay? So there you are. So this means that even though you're disappointed, your overall home, if you have any homebody stuff in yourself at all, because you're more like, you're not a Cancer. You'd be more like flitting around all the time, which is a good thing. That's what you're supposed to do. So, but if I think that you've decided to give up the grief and the aggravation of this situation and concentrate more on what you still do have. Okay, what you still do have. So good. And whenever you got money in your fourth house, or peace and contentment and stability in your fourth house, that's good. Okay, fifth house is romance. Oh, romance and creativity. I think you're doing pretty good in a romance department. Either you have one now that's hot and heavy, or you're going to have one soon. And this looks like, well, this is the queen, well, the goddess, and that's the green man. The green man of the forest is the person or the entity that's in charge of the birds and the bees and making sure the flowers grow and the vegetables grow and the sprouts sprout so humanity can sustain itself. And we also need love that goes along with that. So there, go forth and multiply. Is that how it goes? May the fourth be with you. No, we're not doing that. But I'm happy to see you got this card here. Good job. Okay, sixth house is work and health. Oh my God, now what are you doing? This guy looks like he's about to leap off a rock. Be careful. So you have a great idea about work. You have a great idea, what you think is a great idea. And you want to be able to take off with it and fly with it and guide it and push it and direct it. And you think it can be wildly successful. Some kind of way about work. Now, having said that, the other part of this sixth house is health. Mostly this part of the health category is just about mundane health-related topics. Do you take your vitamins? Did you have your checkup? Because those things need to be addressed even if you think they don't, because that body is going to have to run for you. Run. I mean, like a machine until you're 60 or 80 years old. So you need to take care of that now because it's got to have a good start, because these are really good cards, except for this disappointment here. These three are awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th house, marriage partnerships and business partnerships. Oh, Lordy, Lordy. Oh. Is this, hang on. This is the Lord. Is this the Emperor? Just let me see. Just 1 minute. I have to use my cheat sheet. No, it's the Hierophant. Okay. No, wait a minute. This is a 4. Hang on. The Emperor. I was right. It was the Emperor. The Emperor is not a nice guy. And he looks like he's ruling the forest with an iron hand right here. So, the Emperor is said to be described as someone who you may have had a teacher in school who people hated, that students hated him because he turned back in homework and he said, do this over. You already did it once. Maybe it's a terrible, boring topic. So, however, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is your marriage partnership. Who are you trying to be the boss in your marriage? Do you need to be the boss? Do you need to talk about cooperation? Oh, the Lord. So, honey bunch, if you as a person, whether you're a man or a woman in the 7th house, if you take a stern hand, which is not necessarily your modus operandi, you're pretty flexible as a general rule. And so, but something in your business partnership or marriage partnership has occurred and you're taking a stand on it. And you feel like you have to take a stand on it because of your responsibility there, okay, in your head. So it's all responsibilities in your head that you're going to, because if they don't go right, guess who's going to get blamed? Okay? Ponder that. See where that's going. You know what? That's opposite of this one. So there must be a work problem that's a big, that turned out to be all a tangled and now you're made to feel responsible. Okay, 8th house is money from other people. Oh yeah. This is money from other people is income tax checks, insurance checks, lawsuit checks, inheritance checks, something else. And this guy's carrying a burden. So it looks like you may, if you thought you were in line for a particular bonus, this says oppression. I'm sorry to say that you're A, not going to get it, B, not going to get enough of it. Wow, that's aggravating because you were worthy. Oh, and that's why you're responsible, and that's why you feel oppressed, because they're taking it out on you when it wasn't your fault at work somehow. Okay, 9th house is philosophy, religion, higher education, and long distance travel. And this is a Knight of Wands, and underneath here it says adventure. Oh, so an adventure in a long distance travel, adventure in a spiritual search, adventure in a new line of philosophy of thought, and I forget the other topic, but education. Yeah, adventure. So maybe you want to take a course for either a recreational activity or like how to scuba dive. That's an educational course. But it's going to be, you're ready for a way to relieve some steam. You know, if things aren't going right at work, you have to accommodate that with activity, physical activity, to get rid of the tension. Now, this is a face card, so I'm going to put this on top of it, but you know what? Believe it or not, that if you participate in philosophy, religion, or long distance travel, what is it going to do? It's going to provide you with a foundation. So if you needed a refresher course in intellect and how to use how to think better, like some people get into, they think in a well, or they think in a bucket, or they think with blinders on. And if people have enough experience, X amount of experience in Y, then they get accustomed to tunnel vision, and then they can't think outside the box. So this is telling you, think outside the box, because these trips are going to help you think outside the box elsewhere. That's, believe it or not, that's how these are connected. That's in my opinion, how these are connected. So go ahead and find yourself something exciting activity to occupy yourself with while this other mess just drifts off. Okay? This must be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that problem has you severely worried. What does it say? Worry. Now you're concerned about your career. And whatever was planned did not work out according to plan. You know, like lots of things going on in the news. So sometimes people can get themselves into a worried knot, and all they can think about is this worry. And people get so tangled up in it, they can't relieve themselves. So you need to go outside and run around the block, or take a course, or take a scuba diving course, or whatever, because worrying is not going to fix the career thing that happened. It just makes your head tired, and it mixes up. So you've got to go out and get a breath of fresh air and then come back to it. You'd be surprised how well that will work. I promise. Okay, 11th house is long-term plans. This, look at here. This guy's stealing things and going away. Actually, this says deception. Well, okay. So long-term plans are, this is what I think could be going on in a Gemini's head about this time with this work baloney. And he's saying, I'm getting out of here and I'm taking my toys with me. So everything you've learned at this job, you are ready to just take off. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to, but that you're giving some serious thought to it. So you can think about that and see what happens in a month. However, I still recommend going to the health club, going for a run, go for a scuba diving course, go for a kayak, go for a kayak trip, anywhere where you can get your mind completely out of work and into something else, because you would be surprised how problems solve themselves while you're doing something else. It's amazing. Okay, 12th house is what you think about when you go to sleep. This looks like burning broccoli. It says will. Oh, really? Why is she burning broccoli? But it's about, sometimes Geminis can wiffle waffle and they could change their mind. They're famous for that. I'm not saying it's a flaw. It makes you flexible and it makes you able to see two objectives at once and believe you can accommodate them either way, in any order. Okay? So there's something about you today that this is what's going on in your head, I think. I'm going to conquer this. I'm going to take care of this. And this is never going to happen again. Okay, that's what's going on in the back of your mind. When you go to sleep at night, that's what you think about. So you're quite the gutsy person when you need to be. And I don't mean gutsy in mouthing up. I mean gutsy in standing your ground. So please remember, you know what is you have to stand the ground for. And you know, or will be able to know, how to accommodate those demands made by other people and how you're going to defend yourself. So you're worried. You're worried about that. However, I'm going to throw another card. However, it looks like you're going to be okay, but let me throw another card on that. Oh, a dollop of love. That's what this says here. So what I'm going to say, oh my gosh, is that as you complain or worry, and maybe if it's required that you need to have a one-on-one with a higher up or a lower person about activities that have caused you this grief, your higher ups are going to apply a dollop of kindness and understanding so that you will be able to be easy. It'll be easier on yourself. Now, I'm going to show you what's in this card. And as a result, it will bolster your strength, your whole attitude about yourself, and how to conquer situations, and how to accommodate different ideas and other people. And let us not forget how to avoid things that you never thought would happen. They happened. And you figured out how to accommodate it. Because this is an excellent card. All right, Gemini. Love you. Meet it. And I hope you have a great summer. I hope you have a great month of June. Please hit like and subscribe and leave me a comment. And I'll be happy to reply. So thanks for coming by my table. And I'll see you in July. Okay? Love you. Mean it. Bye.